Hurry up. Yes, brilliant. 56, come on. Good. Come on. Okay guys, I'm going to show you the Anderson squat now. We're going to work through like kind of the warm-up and preparation, the setup, the actual demonstration of how to perform this exercise, some of the key coaching cues and some of the common mistakes that we see athletes doing. Now, in terms of like warming up, you need to make sure that your core is nice and switched on and activated, ready to go. So we use like manual resistance work where we're like kind of pushing against the athlete's hand and moving it either way, getting all the core, the abs, the obliques all fired up because there's a lot of load going through your spine. So it's important to do that not from only from a effective like kind of training point of view, but also making the exercise safe as well. We don't want to injure any lower backs. In terms of setup, you want to set up the bar where you're going to be in a half squat position. It's around about a 45 degree to 50 degree angle. You don't want to go too much lower than that because in a normal back squat, you rely on a lot of speed and force from the stretch shortening cycle when you're dipping down and then driving back up. So the amount of weight that you lift in an Anderson squat will be affected if you go too low. Remember, we're wanting to overload it, wanting to make it easier so we can increase the load and increase the speed of the lift. Also, if you go too high, you won't be overloading your legs too much. It'll be more just like kind of how stable your core is to drive it up. Okay, so 45 degree, 50 degree angle. So I'm going to show you a silent demonstration, and then I'm going to go through the key coaching points. Okay, so you approach the bar, you make sure that you get a nice tight grip on the bar. You want to make sure that you're gripping the bar first rather than going down and then trying to reset, okay? Because it's quite hard to get your shoulders back into that position when you're kind of in that half squat position. So grab hold of the bar first, always go thumb length away from the smooth bits and really grip down, because you want to make sure that there's a lot of tension going through your posterior shoulder, as this will be a protective mechanism for the weight going through your spine. Also, when you set up, you're making sure that you dip in those hips back. A lot of people get underneath it and they try and be a little bit too upright, a little bit like what I mentioned about the trap bar deadlift from blocks, and they become too knee dominant. There's a lot of force going through these knees here. You want to be able to dip your hips back as you get under. And when you drive up, we're driving up through your heels, and we're keeping those knees to the outside. Common mistake that I'll see is that the knees will want to come in because they're not creating that force, that torque into the floor before they're actually lifting. What I see is that they go loose and then they'll try and produce that force and the knees will come on the inside. And we don't want that because that can injure athletes and also can switch off the glutes. It's something that we're wanting to help develop when working on Anderson squats.
I'd really recommend training at the Champion program. It's the next level. Boxing Science, I believe they're the leading brand in world boxing.
Get your fitness levels up with this program. This is the closest thing that you're going to get to be actually in this gym.